Hey guys, it's me, PorygonZ HD, and today we have week 8 of the Hive Kakuna against Robin and the Jacksonville Jangmo-os. And we are against a team that currently does not have a win yet, so we definitely do not want to be that first team that loses, but that despite the record, I know Robin is a good player, so I'm not going to take him lightly. And our team, I don't think we're making any transactions, so the team will still stay the same each time, but as a reminder, it is Mega Kangaskhan, Keldeo, Sylveon, Z Metagross, Gliscor, Z Salazzle, Serena, Z Aerodactyl, Z Status, Kyurem, Umbreon, and Lantern, while my opponent's team for this week is Z Status, Latios, Klefki, Greninja, Mega Charizard Y, Z Landorus, PorygonZ, Slowking, Slurpuff, Z Gourgeist, Heracross, and Emolga. So this team definitely has some hard hitters in Mega Charizard Y. Latios can be one as well, PorygonZ and Heracross. So I knew that I didn't really want to build all that bulky of a team, so I went for more offense that I felt could break his defense as well as, handle the offensive threats with maybe some of the faster mons that I have. So I definitely felt that was my best approach, and to start with that, we have my fastest mon on my team being the Aerodactyl, Choice Banded to give it that extra power. We have Stone Edge, Earthquake, Aerial Ace, and Crunch, which hits just about everything, at least neutrally. And beyond that, it just hits it should hit the, Heracross, very obviously, for ×4 effectiveness, Slowking, and the only thing I'm not hitting as hard as maybe I would like to in being able to OHKO is the Landorus, but I figure that Stone Edge or Banded Aerial Ace honestly should just do enough to where something else can beat it, so I wasn't really wanting to put on Ice Fang when I felt that Crunch could cover better. So I think this will definitely be a great revenge killer for me, as well as not get stopped by the fat things he has, such as the potential Gourgeist, Klefki, or Slowking, and it is faster, and it's set to the speed to outspeed Greninja, which is his fastest mon. Next up we have Mega Kangaskhan, max speed and max attack, just to make sure that we at least speed tie with Mega Charizard Y, but I'm not really risking the speed tie in any sense, just because I do have the Fake Out and Sucker Punch that can help defeat it, but it's not gonna, 2-hit KO it with the combination of those two moves, so I do want that speed just to make sure. But Return Fire Punch covers pretty much everything on his team very well, being that anything that resists Return, being the Klefki and the Gourgeist, are hit by Fire Punch, so I felt that was all the coverage I really needed, and then the extra priority is just nice for his faster threats, such as Landorus or Greninja, so and especially Latios, so wearing those down would be nice with this. Next up we have Gliscor here, where it's speedy, but it's kind of the main bulk I brought on this team, being that Heracross I kind of felt could be an issue with the mons I was intending to bring, so this could beat a locked-in Heracross, as well as such as maybe a Flame Orb Heracross or something like that, because I have Acrobatics in addition to Earthquake, Fling, and Defog, so it's a kind of weird set, because once I can Fling, then Acrobatics will do a lot of damage to everything that Earthquake can't hit, because I have a little bit of attack investment, which, if I remember correctly, was to have Acrobatics still kill Heracross, even if I still had the Toxic Orb. it was just to make it a guaranteed KO on an offensive Heracross. So obviously if I still have the Toxic Orb, I can still Acrobatics and kill it, which that's the main thing that's supposed to stop. As well as just in general, I can fling to, you know, Toxic something bulky, such as the Slowking, where I can also then Acrobatics the Gourgeist, which is another bulky one that I could be worried about, which can't burn me, so I figured this could just have some nice utility overall, and it's got some nice bulk with the HP investment and the special defense investment that I have, and the speed outspeeds Heracross, since that is the main mon this is built for. Then next up we have Scarfed. We have Scarfed Kyurem here, with Draco Meteor, Ice Beam, Earth Power, and then Stone Edge. Stone Edge purely for the Mega Charizard Y, since that guaranteed OHKOs an offensive Mega Charizard Y, even with the minus attack nature. Then Earth Power for the Klefki, and then Draco just kind of hits most of the team pretty hard, as well as then Ice Beam does a good chunk to a lot of things as well, so it's just a nice revenge killer for his team. And is set to outspeed PorygonZ, so I can outspeed Scarf PorygonZ and slower mons that may potentially be scarfed, such as that Heracross that I've mentioned. Then next up we have Sylveon, which it is defensive, and it's mainly for Latios, because that is a huge threat, and since, like I said earlier, my only main defense beyond was Gliscor earlier, that I think Gliscor plus Sylveon should be able to handle this team, at least defensively enough, until my offense can overpower. So I have the Hyper Voice, Hidden Power Rock for that Charizard Y, Wish, and Protect. So I am max defense, but not a boosting nature, because I wanted it to be able to switch in on many of the especially defensive threats, such as Latios, Greninja, PorygonZ, and but in addition, I know that obviously Latios can have Psyshock, and just in general, and Landorus could be special or physical, I don't know, but I know that its poison move is special, so I figured having a little bit extra special defense might be helpful. Then last up we have Salazzle, Specs with Fire Blast, Sludge Wave, Dragon Pulse, and Flamethrower in case I don't want to risk the Fire Blast missing. And this, the Dual Stab plus Dragon covers the whole team, and it's the only real switch into this is Slowking. That's the only thing that switches into this, and it's depending on its set. Sludge Wave could do a good chunk, and if I can pressure it a lot with the rest of my team having ways to wear it down. So I'm not too worried about anything, like especially that Slowking. While I don't really have a lot of super effective moves against it, I think I have enough pressure on it because it is a likely switch into a lot of my mons. So I think that will just wear it down and maybe overcome its regenerator. So with that is the team. Hopefully we can come out with a victory, and I will be back with team preview. And we are back with team preview, as Robin has decided to bring quite the offensive team in. Landorus, PorygonZ, Greninja, Latios, Slurpuff, and Charizard Y. So my first inclination is that that Slurpuff is there to get webs up, and then he's just going to try to go in, because I have in the past many times just not brought Rapid Spin or Defog. However, I'm glad that I did put the Defog on the Gliscor, because I was very concerned about webs, and I didn't want to play with them up at any cost. So I'm definitely wanting to make sure no webs are up, especially with this very threatening offensive team. And so, since I know he has such an offensive team, I don't see him having any switch-ins to a lot of my mons, which is great. Like, especially the Salazzle, it comes in, it gets a kill pretty much every time it comes in. And so I'm definitely thinking of well, if he leads Slurpuff to try to get the webs, I want to lead off with my Kangaskhan to be able to fake it out plus return, which should KO it, and preferably not, pop a Focus Sash or a berry that would make it faster with Unburden. So I am going to lead with my Mega Kangaskhan, as he actually leads off with the Greninja, so I can get the Mega off and just go for Fake Out, get some free damage off. Like I don't see any problem, break a potential Sash, so especially if he led with it, maybe he's trying to get up hazards. So I'm going to switch into my Sylveon though, as I'm not sure what he wants to do as he reveals the low kick, so I'm glad I obviously switched. And he could have Gunk Shot, but I'm not really afraid of it because I don't think it's going to do a whole lot of damage, but he goes for the Spike as I can just Hyper Voice kill it. So I'm already up. However, now he can go into his Charizard Y, as I can just go for the HP Rock, but he actually reveals to be physical with the Dragon Dance. So that is very scary, and HP Rock only does 63, so he starts to roost as he's trying to stall me, at least enough to where he can, I assume, Flare Blitz me, as he does, but it actually fails to knock me out, leaving me at about, I think it was even exactly like 1 HP. So the Hidden Power Rock does take out, and so thankfully 2 threats are gone, but this now allows him to go into his Slurpuff, but I'm just staying in because I don't know what he wants to do, so I'm just going to Hyper Voice, since I know he could potentially Belly Drum, but I think with the Hyper Voice damage, it will put it in range of Fake Out, but since he's Calm Mind now, I'm willing to switch straight into my Salazzle, as I know it gets Surf, but in the sun I'm not worried, so I can just Sludge Wave, which it does not kill, and he does get that Surf off, and he is able to kill me with a crit that definitely does not matter, and he does receive his wish. But he's at less health than he was before, so since I know he's not a berry or anything like that, I can just go for return, and then he goes into his Landorus, as I'm just going to switch on my my Gliscor, as anything he really wants to do, like a ground move or a fighting move, I resist. So I can now just go for my Fling, because I want to be able to Acrobatics the Lottie if it comes in. So I do catch the PorygonZ. So I'm not worried about him setting up too much because he's now Toxic, as he does Agility, so I'm just sacking my Sylveon, so this is just amazing. I am not worried about this since this especially was set up, so again, I'm going to Protect just to get Toxic damage off. I don't expect him to have Recover, so, or to go for it if he does, so I don't care what he does, he can set up more or whatever, as he's just clicking Ice Beam and does finally take out my Sylveon. But that's no problem for me, as now he's going to die the next Toxic, so I can just go back into my Mega Kangaskhan and go for the Fake Out. No drawback there, since I'm just going to get damage on his very offensive Mons. So now that lets him go into Landorus, and I'm again just going to make the exact same switch into Gliscor. I don't know what he can do to me, like maybe he has HP Ice, but I don't know if he would risk going for it right here, as he does go for that superpower again. So I'm just in a comfortable position, and I can just go for the Acrobatics, since that's all that can hit the last 2 Mons, as it does do just under half to his Latios. And now he's going to go for the Z move, so I'm assuming I'm going to die, but it's actually Z Heal Block, which is actually pretty cool in this situation, because I can't heal anymore, but my Acrobatics actually does get the roll this time and kill him. So I'm not getting the health back anymore, but he's going for Knockoff, and so it just seems like he's probably Choice Scarfed, and that's pretty much the game, because Knockoff can't 3-8 KO me from this range, and I can just keep Acrobaticsing and win. So we thankfully take a 4-0 victory against Robin here, and we were able to withstand his offense, thankfully, with I think my 2 defensive Mons being literally perfect for this matchup. The Sylveon living on the 1% was huge, since obviously the Charizard showed it had Roost, and that definitely would have been a huge threat, because I couldn't just Fake Out Sucker Punch it, since he could have tried to Roost. But I do think, though, that at whatever point he decided to Flare Blitz, he would have probably been in Fake Out range, so while the Charizard wasn't going to sweep me, it could have been saved at some point and maybe become a bigger threat later with my Sylveon down, as that was probably the only thing that actually took hits from it. Maybe with Aerodactyl as another option, but regardless, the Gliscor, even though it was designed for Heracross, worked perfectly in that it was just defensive enough, and the way I EV'd it being just mainly HP and then a little bit of Spadef, and then just enough attack for the Latios, because +2 Latios definitely kills everything that was left at that time, so that could have been a threat, but I did have faster things than it, so I don't think this game was ever in doubt, and I'm just, you know, happy that this was just a solid all-around performance from the team, and I feel I was able to play very safely because of my prep, and I didn't have to make really any predictions to put the game in danger. So good game to Robin, and we glad to take this victory, as we are now 4-4, I believe, +10. So that's putting ourselves in a position to make the playoffs, and hopefully we continue our winning ways next week, when I believe we face Jake and the Virginia Tech Frokies. So I will see you then. Bye!